Hello, I'm the only Girl Scout in your troop with the embalming badge, Randy.
I'm the abomination love child of the fish man from The Shape of Water and Adam Driver, Darcy.
Hi, I'm the girl you saw in the Walmart parking lot, and then the back of an abandoned arcade, and then under a booth at Denny's eating the bits of eggs and pancake crumbs that have fallen over the past 4 years and stayed in the little triangle the vacuum cleaner you just can't seem to get up. Connie.
Hi, I'm the queen of the jungle. I'm the cannibal queen of the jungle of endless soup, salad, and breadsticks, Melody.
And I'm constantly drunk, Shelby.
Hey! Welcome to another episode of Mistresses of Mayhem. We're here, we're back. There is simultaneously so much to discuss.
We are queer. Bring us a beer.
I prefer cider. Give me an Angry Orchard instead. Could I trade in that coleslaw for mac and cheese, please?
Okay, so last time we talked about Stranger Things because it had just gotten announced. Today we are here with the second house announcement that was honestly kind of a doozy. We're talking about Dead Exposure Patient Zero.
Oh.
Yeah. I was shook when this happened.
Same. Quicking.
Mm-hmm.
The second house announcement this year is an original.
It's like they listened to what people wanted and then did it, which is kind of ridiculous. And I'm thinking that marketing is currently in the upside down, and that's why this is all happening.
Oh, I love it.
Marketing had to go to the upside down to get Stranger Things.
Yeah, and then they just stayed there and actually did something that the fans wanted.
The world is truly upside down. Yeah, we finally so this is a really cool announcement. This was a little history. This house originally appeared at Halloween Horror Nights 18, so it's a full 10 years.
It's 10 years old.
Yeah,
it's a real
that's
girl.
so cute.
I know, right? That's adorable. And I think there's a couple key differences, honestly, in how this one's coming about. The last one was like a photographer photographing the zombie apocalypse. And this one,
exposure is different now that
right,
I think about it.
right.
It used to be a photography
exposure
joke, and now it's a disease joke.
Yeah,
right. So they've changed kind of. I don't want to say like
premise. They changed premise.
Yeah, because the concept is still going to be the same, where it's complete darkness and bright flashes. It confirmed that.
But it's incoming blindness instead of photography.
Yep.
Right.
Which
They're
is
talking about how the cure makes you blind. Yeah. This is a really interesting story-wise decision. I feel like this is a really cool like way to sequel this house that really kind of didn't have a sequel. I believe the last one ended with, the photographer dying because it's the zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is the cure for the zombie disease. It makes you blind. So that's why you're plunged into complete darkness a lot. Yeah, and it's also, I was just about to say, it's set in Paris, which is... So, I have this question to pose to you guys. Do you think, because this is set in Paris, we're going to go to the catacombs?
Yes.
Duh.
I'll kill myself.
Like, to me, that's the only reason I could see them setting it there. I'm like, why would you put it in Paris? Because you have to ask these questions, because they happen for a reason. They didn't just put it there randomly.
I think this is going to be a both a spiritual sequel to Dead Exposure and a spiritual sequel to Catacombs.
Yeah, that would be...
Ooh, yes.
Well, I just
it's going to be the Catacombs crossover we were supposed to get last year.
Exactly.
I was literally just about to bring this up. I think a lot of people were really disappointed when we didn't end up going to the Catacombs last year. Like, that was a big thing in speculation season.
Where that?
Right. So it's like... They're finally were like, okay, we hear you, and we're probably going to take you there this time. But here's my thing. If this house is going to be scenically beautiful, we're going to be in the dark all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I obviously did not go through the one in 2008. Have we, does anyone in this group know, was the scenic in that house good? Was it even existent? Or was the house...
There's two
well
videos
remembered, but I don't know if it's well remembered based on premise or if it's well remembered based on execution.
I think it's more well remembered from execution because everybody I talked to, it was one of their favorite houses from that year. So I don't know.
And that was a strong year.
I have faith. I mean, I even think the art is cool. I like that the zombie is in black and white. I like the idea that the house would be somewhat monochromatic because I feel like it would make the bright flashes more like not monochromatic. That's not the word I'm looking for. Very black and white. Like, and that's what the image gives off to me. And I like the idea of like very like stark contrast, so that when you do see it for that moment, it's like very striking. That's what I'm hoping for.
There is some really crappy footage of the house. On the internet, and it looks like they used a lot of like the static dummies and then live actors, so you could never tell what was moving and what wasn't.
Of course.
And it wasn't black and white, I believe. I hope that's not just the footage being black and white.
No.
I believe
what I
people
meant is like the art for the house, like of the zombie and the video that they did. Not that it was literally black. Like, I don't mean for the house to literally be black and white. Not like what was that Scare Zone 3 years ago? You know what I'm talking about?
All Night
Not
Dying.
like that.
Yeah.
Just more than anything, just like really intense contrast between like the highlights and the shadows.
So basically a 3D house without the 3D.
Yeah.
Got all the obnoxious colors, yeah.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it did have like that really bright whites and really dark darks. You know what I mean? Like the really, because it was photography, so they had it look like the pictures. So I'm very curious about how that happens. They posted that picture of like, I think it was like reworked zombie masks they had in the past. I think they're supposed to be in the house. I can't remember where that picture went, but it looks pretty neat. And there's another thing that I want to bring up with this. It was another beautiful promo video.
Yes.
It was gorgeous.
So good.
Who in marketing sold their soul for this?
You know what I think?
Like,
happened?
I do think
they sold Matt Korn, and now.
Oh my gosh!
Hot take.
Hot takes all abound on this podcast.
Hot takes.
So no one's
sorry, Matt Korn, if you're listening, the joke was too ripe.
Oh, no. Okay. But this is obviously something I hope to see continue this year with our announcements. I thought the promo work for Stranger Things was stunning, and this one was great too. I know we all just like lose our minds when we talk about the Stranger Things promo because it was just so gorgeous. And this one,
I feel like they waste the fact that this thing does take place in, granted, a pretty ugly, but still a theme park nonetheless. Like they have places that they can do stuff. I love that the Stranger Things promo actually included the archway.
Yeah,
I was so happy. I want to see more of that.
Granted, it was California's archway. But...
Well, but it's still the Universal Archway.
It's still pretty iconic both ways. Yeah,
I mean, ours used to look pretty much just like that in Orlando. So
there you go. I would love to see. I mean, I'll get into the unified theme everybody's talking about later, but I really wouldn't mind having the upside down take over the archway. Give it something, you know?
Yeah. I would take any theming on the archway, even for something I don't really care about, over nothing.
Yeah, besides just the posters.
Hashtag
I think that would be
no more
so great.
chain link fence.
Yes, it's so aesthetically ugly when you're doing so many different things.
Run sequel for Horror Nights 28.
No! Who would be yelling at you this year, like the Demogorgon just screeching at you to run through the space?
Get out!
Oh my god.
Like, not even saying words, just screeching.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
Can I do a quick chat corner? Because we got some comments all up on our YouTube page.
Ooh. Oh my gosh!
Okay, one Haunt Scene sent us a heart.
Aww.
Thank you.
Aww.
Oh my gosh.
Prince of Nowhere Land said, "Is it sad that I wait for this show religiously? No, it's not.
What?
Thank you so much."
Absolutely not!
It's not.
I don't even wait for the show religiously.
Oh man.
Okay. But they also said after 2010, we were supposed to get sequels to originals that year, and 2011, Havoc was the only one that got a sequel. Are there any houses y'all want to see continue besides Nightingales?
Blood and Guts.
I love how you already called it Nightingales because I was literally about to scream it. You know what? This is such a weird one for me, but I'm obviously a big Edgar Allan Poe ho.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to see. This is my brainchild that is never gonna happen. I want to see the Edgar Allan Poe versus H.P. Lovecraft house.
Yes.
I want to see them fighting each other with their monsters.
So basically, it would be Shelby versus Randy.
Yes.
Yes. But we love both. But I love both.
I mean, that's good.
I just side more with my dude, Edgar, you know, like,
The show
but
I mean,
yes.
backyard.
With Cthulhu and a bird. I would be so outnumbered, oh my god.
Haunt Scene.
Hilarious.
Haunt Scene said original DE was fun, and Prince of Nowhereland said Nightingales versus Body Collectors, and I am down for that.
Shit! No, that's good. That's
Give us all
spicy
the
content.
verses.
That
Houses.
is some spicy content right there. I love that idea.
That's wonderful because they both are like carrion birds, you know, because a nightingale's literally, but the body collectors also do that. So they're fighting over food,
A scene where they're just
which is a
slapping each
relatable
other.
relation.
What?
I mean, they're both like original, universal, you know, creations. They're creatures, but with a purpose. But they're humanoid. Like wow, I can't believe like this never struck me how cool it would be to see those two like species
Side by
interact.
side.
That'd be
Well, and to be
could you
fair,
imagine if
when
they
we talk
worked
about
in tandem,
speculation,
though?
when we do talk
I'd
about
almost rather see
speculation,
them
we
work
just
together.
we did just have body collectors cross over with Shady Brook, so we're like, oh, they've already crossed over with an IP,
No,
so
more.
Well, give us all the
Make-
oh, we want more.
crossovers.
It's okay. That's
I
great.
love this stuff. Please just give me constant HHN fan fictions.
Yes.
Not literally, like in the houses.
Well,
But,
now
um,
it's too late. I've already started writing one. What are you gonna do?
Connie's typing away as we speak.
As we talk. Self-insert.
So are we just talking about sequels to things from 2011 or sequels from things from previous years as well?
I'm assuming all years, but if we're talking 2011, I can think of many. Or 2010
Almost
even.
everything that year could use a sequel. That was a solid year.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
this year's the 10th anniversary for Legendary Truth.
Yes. I hope that shows up.
Hope it comes back, and I could really see it fitting in with our theming speculation.
I would not be mad for another upcharge experience. I enjoy
I have that on the
fuck
list
out
to
of
discuss.
Depository.
I have that on here to talk about because it is coming back up again.
Before we move on, should I say one more thing that the Prince of Nowhereland said?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Nightingales versus body collectors in famous wars throughout the ages, and last scene, after the apocalypse, everyone's dead, so they eat each other.
Oh my god.
Damn. Hey, Prince of Nowhere, you need to get on board the A&D people. You need to get in there.
Please.
You need to infiltrate.
Get in.
These are great ideas.
These are wonderful. Another thing that I would love to see come back is 10,000% for sure. I want to get another crack at a Cindy house with fire in it.
Yes.
Of course.
Also,
Actual
can I say
fire.
one more thing before we move on. Okay.
Yeah, dude, we're good.
We're talking about body collectors and nightingales. Are they gonna bone? Here's the thing. I want us to imagine what would like a hybrid creature of those two be like. Would that not be awesome?
God, all you're making me think of is my friend made me watch Brain Dead last night, and all I can think of is the scene with the zombies having sex and then having a zombie baby.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, guys, they'd be the body gales.
Night and collectors.
The ship I never needed. And still
But
don't.
now you know that you need it. Yeah, so I think we can all say we're pretty excited about Dead Exposure. I love seeing these properties come back that may have gone kind of under the radar with a lot of newer fans. Like we said, pretty much all of us weren't there to experience that the first time. Same with Ghost Town or any of the other properties that they've really found like the gems of the past and like managed to bring them back in really interesting ways with awesome effects. I'm all here for it.
Yeah.
That's
Not
one
to
thing I
mention.
wanna bring
Sorry.
up. I know you're good. One thing I want to bring up is when people get angry that this is coming back. Like, oh, we've seen it before, but the event, it's 10 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
The event's not for those people anymore. It's for the new people coming in. It's
It's the old fogies who complain about stuff like that.
Not to mention, they're making us care about zombies again.
Yes.
This is the zombie house we're all looking forward to.
Walking Dead.
I never thought it would happen.
Caring about zombies since like 2013 was Dead Waters last year. And those were barely zombies. That was different.
They were delicious, though. Whatever they were.
Connie.
I thought we were going.
How did you taste the zombies?
Listen, all I'm saying is that sometimes a little zombie, they're running at you, your mouth is open, you can't dodge in time. Delicious.
Can you imagine a coordinator going up, ma'am, please don't eat these characters, ma'am, please.
Oh my god. Okay, so that was our big thing to discuss. I'm sure we'll get back to it later. But we have a couple of other smaller things that are happening in various places around the world, and then we'll talk about some like other rumors, because the closer we get to everything being announced, I feel the more accurate things get.
Yes.
So lots to discuss. So Hollywood announced their holidays with a Z of horror scare zone. It's terrible and we don't want it.
Did you mean Singapore's Holidays in Hell Light, the scare zone?
The scare zone.
It basically is HR Blood and Depression.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between HR Blood and Guts, Holidays in Hell, and fuck, I don't know.
Krampus.
There's some
Did we
Krampus.
expect anything better out of Hollywood?
Did we? They literally just did Dark Christmas like 2 years in a row, I'm pretty sure.
They're literally reusing costumes from Dark Christmas.
Oh my god.
I mean, low key though, I'm pretty down for that like weird turkey hybrid. That one piece of art. I think
Please
that thing
don't
is
fuck the
hilarious.
turkey, Melody.
Listen, I never said I wanted to
late,
fuck
the grandma and
turkey.
HR Blood and Guts already
The
did.
turkey.
What about like the super offensive looking Cinco de Mayo one? That one's
Oh,
good.
that was bad. That was not. I mean, they're in
but low-key,
California,
didn't we
guys.
I thought he was Day of the Dead, and didn't we do like a whole scare zone of that?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Well, there's
also
Day of
glow in
the
the
Dead
dark.
and Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo is
Cinco de
like a
Mayo?
touchy subject occasionally.
And it is Seis de Mayo today, so
It is, but
That
I
is.
don't
That's
know.
very
relevant.
timely.
I mean, even as recent as 2015, we had, ice cold beer, Day of the Dead skeleton man, and I don't know him personally, but I'm gonna take a wild swing and say he probably was not Mexican just by process of elimination. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, is anything in life fair?
Not
ice
really.
cold beer, ice
Cold beer.
Beer.
He really made the
Cold
most
beer.
out of being a silent character, Stoat Walker. He really made the most of that. He was doing the most. So obviously we already touched on this, but we got an original announcement this early. How does this impact your perception of the rest of the season?
I'm
I
dripping.
No, I have no idea what to expect. Like,
I don't even.
I thought
I love that. I love that.
I kind of agree. I feel like we got sort of, I don't know, 2015 was its own thing because it was an anniversary year.
Mhm.
And then 2016 and 2017 followed a couple of really similar patterns, which we have now broken. And
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I like to feel on my toes. So I think about this a lot. I'm in the grand scheme of things, a relatively new Horror Nights fan. And I sometimes think like, how does this stay spicy to people after like 28 years, And the answer, they clearly just change shit up every year. And I'm totally down for that. But then again, some of them, it's not very spicy to them. They're just always angry and grouchy.
Yeah.
Why is it that like most of the fans who've been going forever seem to hate HHN except for Dr. Jimmy, who's too pure for this world?
You right.
I think it's just constant comparison. When you're like 12th grade, you hate school a lot because you've been there forever.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think that like, obviously, I mean, it's still like a great event, but a lot of things have changed.
Yeah.
And they're never going to go back to that way. There's still people who complain that there isn't like a parade, which is just not possible.
Yeah.
With the crowds.
There hasn't been a parade for so long.
I know, but those people were there and they were like, I thought it was fun. We should do it again. I'm like, well, we can't now. Things change.
Things
And
are gonna keep changing forever.
and who knows, in like 10 years, maybe we'll be bitter and be like, I want 26 back, which I don't.
I don't think I'll ever say that. Well, I mean,
I know.
I mean, I won't say that about 26, but I might say that about other years.
Yeah.
I already
don't know,
say
I'm
that
just
about other
fine.
years.
My view of HHN is incredibly like rose tinted compared to some other people, and that
True.
it's a different experience. And I'm totally aware of that. I mean, it could be here in Orlando. It could be a whole year of dot rooms. You guys know what a dot room is, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
A whole year of that, and I would be like, yeah, man, let's go, let's scare, woo, fuck it up, guys, yeah. Like that was so
Totally fair.
That would be its own sort of horror show, though.
thing, and I would still be really excited. So I feel like my opinions are therefore null and void, and you should kick me off.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Get out.
Not gonna be a house this year. Why are you even bringing that up?
No, are you saying that there's not going to be an entire house full of just dots? What are you talking about? I got
no,
roped
she
in.
said get out. That's
There's
what
not gonna be a house.
Oh, get out. Okay. I just want to voice a pet peeve real fast. All these people are like, the quiet place house where you can't make any
my
noise. I'm like,
God.
can you die?
Do you
Can you stop?
understand how tourists work?
Do you understand?
They're not quiet.
Also, could you even like, you would hear
Screaming.
footfalls and you would hear everything. Like
There's no
I don't
way.
understand how much stuff is going on in a house. Like I've been in a Horror Nights house where everything except the sound just turned on, and there is still so much sound. I cannot even begin to tell you how loud that drop panel in AHS was. You could hear it outside the soundstage. That single drop door. Could you imagine a whole house attempting to be in dead silence? There would be no fog. There would be nothing. There could be no triggers. You can hear them throughout the entire rest of the house. They're not soundproof.
Yeah, never forget Dollhouse of the Damned, that air horn that you could hear from literally 200 feet away from the tent.
Yep. That one, yeah.
Yep.
No, that comes through in video footage of that house, like so hardcore. Like you just hear that noise everywhere. But yeah, so I would just like to a short PSA. Just because it's a good horror movie that you enjoyed does not mean it's going to make a good haunted house. And just because it makes a good haunted house doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Bing, bing, bing,
That's
bing,
true.
bing, bing, bing.
Looking at you, Terror Tunes. Terror Tunes would make such a good house, god damn it.
Y'all, mark it off your bingo cards. We brought up Terror Tunes.
Brought up Terror Tunes. And we've already brought up Shape of Water as well.
That's true. That was like way out the gate.
The only
that
thing
was
we haven't
literally
brought up
the
yet
first-
that's a running joke now is Drag Race.
You mean Steve Buscemi?
I also forgot about Steve Buscemi. There we go. 2 in 1 second.
We really did that. Okay.
But Steve Buscemi as a drag queen dresses a frog.
Yes! I'm ready.
Okay, honestly,
Fishman drag.
no, because Asia O'Hara did
I
Fishman
was
drag
about
this
to say
week.
that was literally Asia.
You're
O'Hara
right.
this week. Like,
And
as
they
soon as
clocked
she-
her
as
for
soon
that
as she
mask, and I
came
was
out-
mad about it.
Okay, I'm sure that literally everyone did the same thing, but when that happened, I when I watched it with Victor, I looked at him and I said, "Shape of Water, 2K18." Like as soon as she walked out on the runway, so I'm sure everyone did that.
I was shook when that didn't go over well because that's so in vogue right now.
Yeah, I know. Everyone wants to fish-faced people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Off of Drag Race.
So we got to keep it moving. So we're on to our random speculation bits that I have culled over the past couple of days of doing research for the show. So the tea around the internet is that we're going to get the next house is going to be a shared property with Hollywood. So it'll probably be an IP.
Did you mean every IP that we have, basically?
I mean, basically, but I mean, it's good to note it. Like, you know, it happens still where they get some that we don't. Like, they'll change it up a little bit. You know, they got Insidious as a whole house, and we got Insidious as 3/4 of a house, so.
Yeah.
Not spicy, not bitter.
And then 3/4 of that 3/4 is never actually in any movie ever. It doesn't even exist.
Right.
Can we talk about how literally the best trigger in that whole house is not in the final cut of the movie?
The final cut of that movie is garbage.
You were always such a disobedient bitch. That is not in the final cut of the movie.
Disgusting.
And I was looking forward to it.
I'm so sad.
Smack.
Like, I watched that movie the other day waiting for that, like, sound cue, and it never happened, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a friend named Chad. Shout out Chad. Who
Shout out.
He sent me that scene as a, like, he found the lead scene and sent it to me because he knew I love that trigger. But then again, I love any trigger with a swear word.
And we had so many last year. It was so great.
I know, we were so
many.
blessed.
I wanted to be Hello Pussies.
Melanie, you're not black.
Listen here, goddammit, she was wearing a mask.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I've seen black people literally play Confederate soldiers, but I have literally seen black people play Confederate soldiers.
Oh man, we're getting so spicy tonight.
Okay, let me tell you, it was hilarious. He was a swing, and he was brought in to play the Confederate in AHS. And, like, watching him get handed his costume was the funniest thing I've ever seen, maybe.
Oh, boy.
It was so great. I mean, he was a great sport. I was like, high five, fellow racist, and it was a good time.
Good times. So, with that being said, we should rule out a couple of the following properties according to rumor. And like we say, we absolutely take everything on this podcast with a grain of salt. Like, nothing is set in stone until it is.
Yes, we take everything with a grain of salt, and we take nothing seriously.
10,000%.
Listen here, I've never made a joke in my entire life.
Now listen here.
I mean, every word I ever say, ever.
My existence is a joke.
That was dark. Okay.
So, according to a couple of various sources, including our spicy friend, the Ifrit, some previous clues that he tweeted out, as well as other people have hinted towards, have kind of fallen by the wayside. It looks like we've lost about 3 different properties.
Oh my god!
One of which
fallen 2 confirmed.
I want to believe, but I don't believe anybody wants that.
I don't want that. I think the only person that wants that is Selena.
Oh, it's true, and they still have her mask. So like,
they do. It's in horror makeup.
Yeah, it's up on the shelf.
Oh, that must be nice.
Oh my god,
she cries every time she's there. It's great.
Aww,
like
I cry every time I'm there. There's a scientist on the wall too.
Yeah, there is. It's beautiful. Actually, speaking of things that were not destroyed that people expect to be destroyed, I have tea to tell you guys after this, but it has to be off air.
Yes, you guys don't get our info.
I love how you just tell them you have tea.
Yeah, cool. Leave the audience wanting more. That's our strategy.
Audience, guess what? We know things that we don't tell you.
We're so cool. Okay.
I don't know.
You know what one of those things is going to be? Since we're talking about Horror Nights updates, the first round of auditions is in 2 weeks, and you know what that means? In 2 weeks, I will have all of the code words, and everyone else can suck it.
I have bad news, Melody. I already have all the code words.
No, there'll be different code words. Maybe it depends.
Okay, I was about to say I have terrible news, and that we're going to talk about the code words after this. They have been
also,
leaked.
We supposedly had all the code words last year too, and then I showed up to that audition, and they were totally different. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. I didn't know that. So
I like fun new things.
I love being more confused. So 3 of the IPs that we have apparently lost this year, and of course, take this with a grain of salt. You never know.
I like salt.
So we're getting salty and spicy tonight.
Thin, white, and very salty.
Ms. Karaka for top 3.
Okay, Caitlin, time for dinner. I'm sorry, we gotta stop.
We have to get this. So one of them is, of course, the one that we were the most excited about, but that was the longest shot. And that's the Lost Boys.
Long Boys.
The Long Boys! I'm sorry, I really did say that. I really did say that.
Long Boys.
It's like, okay.
You know what kind of dog I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Oh, the ones with the really long faces.
Yes.
It's just a house full of those popping out of the walls.
So you made sad face.
Oh yeah, I know, dude. It's like the worst because I would have killed to have Lost Boys at the event. That is such like if I can. Mm-hmm. This is such a weird request that I was like, if we can get muscly saxophone man in this house, I will live.
But I'm like, I'm kind of sad now too because after thinking about it, when Ifrit said stuff, I was like, man, you know, it'd be a great scene in a house. The holy water bathtub.
Yes. Oh it's just me screaming about missing the holy water bathtub this year.
But bitter all year.
This is where I put my saltwater.
Long Boys for life. Thank you, Graham.
Hashtag Long Boys.
And it would be like you'd have wiener dogs, you'd have the long-faced ones, you'd have the long cat, you'd have like the Babadook and all the small guys, and you would have a guy on a longboard.
Yes, that would be so fitting in California at the time.
It would also be fitting in Orlando right now.
Exactly.
We have Scarecrow, tall man, big face.
Oh my god, yes.
You know who I'm talking about.
It was always by the tall man who, when we would stop and cheer a tall man, would just cheer with us instead of telling us to move.
Yeah. Excellent.
That is some good customer service.
That's great.
Guest relations. So
cast compliments.
For those that don't know what we're talking about.
I tried to leave a cast compliment for Beetlejuice
at Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
I love it.
That was the greatest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I want to know what they did.
Pass compliments for me, for Disney.
I really liked the bearded lady at Hollywood Studios.
It was great.
Just so funny, but a little threatening.
And they'll be like, no, Disney will respond, no, ma'am. You actually saw her at Southern Nights Orlando this coming Tuesday at midnight on the main stage.
A plug.
Plug.
Okay, so Lost Boys is probably out of the picture. We all knew it was such a, like, a, you know,
Long
that
shot?
was such a, I didn't want to say it again. That was like one that wasn't like super, like, it didn't make a lot of sense when it came out, but we were excited about it. But if it's gone, it's gone. That would have been such a weird one to throw in, but would have fit with that 80s theme everyone is wanting real bad. Also, if you just want to watch Lost Boys, it's a super fun movie and it's on Netflix. So
That is
Please
good
watch
to know.
it is so good. So good. So many good styles happening, the atmosphere, all that. Another IP that we have theoretically lost is The Thing.
Oh, which have you? Okay, I gave you all homework last episode to go and look up that very, very inappropriate joke at the beginning of the movie The Thing.
Wait, what?
The Russian guys. I see that no one has done it. Audience, have you done it? All four of you listening? No, there's only three now. Someone left.
Oh, somebody didn't want to answer.
That's fine. It's okay. But next time there will be a quiz.
There will be a quiz.
Wow. Okay, Miss Wayne.
Oh, I'm joking. I've never seen that movie.
So yeah, I know The Thing could bring like a really cool atmosphere to the event, and of course it's got a great John Carpenter score and all that stuff. So a
Didn't they
little
do the
disappointing
remake,
to
like,
see
not
that one
long
go.
ago? They did the remake.
They did it in 2011.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, that 2011. Ooh, dude.
That would have been a sequel this year. That would have been a sequel.
Ooh, spice.
But also, I think they would have done the original instead of like the hot new remake.
For sure. I was just clarifying because I had very vivid memories. You know, again, this is a somewhat slightly on topic and off topic fun fact. My sweet and wonderful Edward Mordrake, shout out Gerardo, played The Thing in All Night Die-In for like 2 nights. He was barely there, but it was one of those nights when Gerardo showed up as a fire crew or as reserve, and they're like, "Hey, you're tall enough, The Thing," and so he was.
He got put inside.
It was like his favorite role he ever played because it was so iconic.
So interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, and that makeup looked really cool out in the zone too. I was really pleased with how they did it. Oh wow!
It was The Thing like splitting like in half. He had like 2 faces and big long crazy fingers, and yeah, he wasn't there. I can't say how often he was there over the entire event, but I know he was not there every night for sure. People who went more often to 25 could confirm, but based on what Gerardo said, he was like a character that they would just fill in if there was enough people that day.
Cool.
So
that sounds fun.
That zone was so well put together. I honestly really loved that one.
The best zone that's been shoved into that horrible location so far.
Rude.
In terms of scares
Shut up,
and
Darcy. It was great, but it was no die-in.
Shut up.
Listen,
I was gonna fight for my dead fisherman. So
yeah, what about
I love how we all are so opinionated about the worst scare zone location. Actually, no, second worst scare zone location.
It is one of the worst locations, but I feel like so like they didn't have it. There was nothing there in 2014, right? Unless my brain is
no.
Okay,
no.
yeah. So from 2015 to now, like those 3 scare zones, I think this goes against popular opinion. I think all 3 of them have been some of the best of their years.
Yeah,
10,000%.
Good. There's just something about it, but like I don't know. I just liked Die-In because there was so much visual variety. Like I have not seen a scare zone with visual variety like that since then. At all.
And I would just like to say every actor in that zone had such good character movement and like interaction. Like they all were so well defined.
I will never not be shocked by the guy who played Dr. Frankenstein.
Yes.
He was incredible.
I don't know who that was, and I would love to find out because he like changed my life in a very small way. So
like every Bride of Frankenstein in that zone was killing me. Like it was amazing.
Yes.
She was always
Everyone
so
get
good.
murdered.
She had like those swan hisses. Like,
Yep.
oh, she was killing it. And the color cast was great too. But I really
Wow,
love
that's
seeing that.
racist.
That's
We are
sounding
getting
bad.
we are getting so spicy tonight. I knew when I said it that it wasn't gonna work out like I wanted it to.
If you,
I
I mean,
know what
it's
you
funny
meant.
though, because if you
Change
were
the bit.
anyone who is not on the inside of like what we mean by that, it does sound pretty awful.
Sounds
The
real
colors-
bad.
Should we say Technicolor?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Hey, I like that. The
Technicolor
Technicolor cast was phenomenal, and I was like, I really loved all of them too. They all did great.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah,
Good job, everybody from
people
the Scare
there.
Zone from 3 years ago.
Cast like once, but they were great, I guess. I was always back there during the black and white sets.
That's
I know.
weird.
No,
But
it's
yeah,
because
so-
the black and white sets were the ones that weren't the Cast B sets and icons.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Okay, so another IP that again, this one to me is the most like we really might still have it, we really might not. This one is so
What?
Shelby, I just
Yeah.
saw the drawing you tweeted.
Yeah, I have to retweet that.
oh
Excuse
no.
me. Hold up.
Oh no. Are we
I'm doing it. No,
I
look
can't-
look
I
at it.
can't believe
Everyone.
This app or gets
Everyone go to Shelby's Twitter account right now and look at
Right
this
now.
drawing.
It's
oh
so
my
cute.
god, it's so
I'm
beautiful.
dying.
I'm so angry I can't look at this. Can someone explain?
It's what dead exposure. Look, a zombie, and then the zombie exposes himself as well, like a flasher might.
He's wearing like a trench coat. And he throws
Yes.
it open.
I love it. Can he be in the men with long coats scare zone?
Yes!
Yes.
Yes. Thank
Also-
you, Shelby. Bless us.
This is
A
why
true gift.
I'm drawing. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Do not apologize, please. Never apologize.
See, Shelby, we're your friends, but we're also your biggest stalker. I mean, fans.
It's true.
Good save.
Shelby, I know where you live.
Now that's creepy.
I've driven you there twice.
Okay, less creepy.
Okay. So another
Ooh,
IP that we may or may not have lost, like I was saying. It, Pennywise of it. I hate saying it because it never feels like I'm talking about anything.
Yep.
the IT.
The IT crowd. Richard, whatever his last name is, Richard just comes in and says, "Have you tried turning it on and turning it off again?"
And it's the upcharge experience.
The upcharge experience.
You go to 10 to get your computer fixed.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. I know a pretty hot IT guy.
Ooh. So it may or may not be coming anymore. Obviously, we've had an interesting history with Stephen King. And his various adaptations. I don't know if they were going to try and pull like but it's the movie thing that they did. Like it's Stanley Kubrick's The Shining and not, Stephen King's.
It's Stevie Kang's The Shining.
Yes. The shitting.
It's called That, and it's
It's Stefan Kong.
It's called I don't conform to the gender binary.
They.
It's the name of the house. They. Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no one is for sure on whether or not it's happening anymore. And obviously, this is one that people were screaming about last year. So if we lose it again, I mean, we have Stranger Things, and that's going to pull in so many people. But I know a lot of people were looking forward to this house if it were to happen. And I agree that I would be one of them. So.
And see, would you like my hot take on this?
Please give us your hot take.
I think they are going to wait until the next movie comes out and make it an Uber house with both.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Solid.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Well, especially because, like, now that, I mean, I wouldn't say that AHS is off the table, but I would say Stranger Things is going to be the mega house this year. It's going to be the most popular.
AHS ain't what she used to be.
It's true.
You're right.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be looking for something new to do as the mega house, since Walking Dead's kind of been dried out. AHS is like whatever at this point, like we don't know. Yeah. And Stranger Things makes seasons so slowly.
That's true.
Like
least it's not Sherlock.
Yeah, that's true. Don't remind me of those days. Ugh.
I gave my heart.
Yeah, me too.
And they fucking stomped on it. Yeah. We're so good. We're so good at this. How are we like feeling about this? How do we still have hope for this?
No.
Not really.
Wow. Okay. Not even a question for some of us. Which is fair because it is just so tricky on the rights thing.
Yeah.
It's so popular that people can throw it in.
Hey, psst.
Yeah,
really quick. Psst.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mike Aiello just tweeted. Psst. Hey Shelby, psst. Check it out.
What is happening?
Mike Aiello just said you read the treatment and like retweeting Shelby's drawings.
That's great.
Zombie.
Oh my gosh, we're famous, you guys. We made it.
Yeah, we say we made it. He's reading Shelby.
Piggybacking on Shelby's success, we made it.
We're just like hiding under her trench coat. We are just like dragging you behind on her coattails.
And Shelby's the face. Like Shelby is the top of the trench coat children pile.
We're doing all the walking, but she's the no, just kidding. Just kidding.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
That was savage.
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't realize what I was saying.
You in that case, you would be the feet, and Randy would be the face. Talks the most.
Well,
in a good way. I'm the hostess.
I'll be the stomach. I eat the most.
Can I? You know, I'm not gonna say what I want to be.
I knew you were gonna say the booty.
You're close.
Oh darn. Okay.
I would like to be the urethra.
Oh no, that's
we're the spiciest. So those are the 3 IPs that we've probably lost this year. This leaves some room for potential new things. I believe our house split. No one can confirm whether there's going to be 9 or 10.
Ooh,
and I don't think there's
10 though.
9 and an upcharge.
That's what I'm thinking because some people are saying 9 and an upcharge. And in this potentially 80s themed year, that rumor is really not going away. And Dead Exposure looks to be set kind of in that era as well.
Mm-hmm.
The footage was very that. I don't remember if it was in the description or not. But so an 80s themed upcharge experience could be like really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would be super into that.
Can Legendary Truth meets the Ghostbusters?
Yes. Perfect.
Legendary Truth, but laser tag.
Oh my god, yes!
Wait.
Tag upcharge.
Yes.
There was a lot of laser tag at IAPA when I went, so maybe.
There was. That's very true.
That could be an interesting little.
There was also a lot of fucking virtual reality, though. I mean, it was more like virtual reality, the convention.
Yeah, that's been the thing these days.
Oh my god, IAPA was just an orgy of virtual reality. It was like. Yeah. I don't know. It felt quite exciting when I did it in repository because I'd never done it before. I'd never worn like a rig like that, so it was quite new and exciting at that point. But I've done it a lot now.
It felt like oversaturation.
I personally don't think if there is an upcharge, they're going to do VR again.
I don't think so either.
I think the VR was probably I'm sure it was expensive to purchase and probably really expensive to maintain.
Yeah,
and it was basically everyone's least favorite part of the rest.
I was about to say, like people,
it was like, yeah, that was the worst part. The rest of it was amazing, though.
Yeah, when you talk to people, they were like, yeah, it was cool, but it was also really short, and like comparatively, it wasn't up to par with the rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I would have much preferred an hour-long experience that was just actors and then the escape room element.
Especially if I was paying $50 to go in.
Yes. Escape room. You guys. Yes. Escape room.
Yes.
Escape room. Escape room.
Yes.
Agent 10 confirms to take place at Dare to Escape this year.
Oh my god, I'm ready. Speaking of plugs.
No, but seriously.
I I could see them doing another escape room thing, maybe without the VR.
Okay, but can I just clarify real quick? As much as I love the repository, it had a single puzzle, and it was barely a puzzle. Like, people who say that that's an escape room,
girl, it was a glorified game of Mastermind at the end of a haunted house.
Laugh in their face because it was not an escape room. It had an escape room puzzle as the finale.
They didn't give you enough time to figure out either.
No, they didn't. Why wasn't it like a 3 or 4 minute thing? Why did they make you do it in 1 minute? It was ridiculous.
Like, we failed immediately.
Oh, I didn't win. But I also, as of the left, TJ Manarino was out there asking what people thought, and I immediately burst into tears because I was so happy. So,
Aw.
So that was also my only night off of HHN that year. So, like, it was the first time I had done a haunted house that year, was doing the repository. So
that was my first for 26 as well.
Yeah.
I also cried when I left for
not
the same reasons.
We are kindreds. I just loved it. Like, I thought it was so fantastic. The actors were amazing. The sets were, it's some of the best scenic I've ever seen out of HHN. That first room, I think about it all the time.
Here's what I want to see with this year. With like Legendary Truth. I want to see like a scavenger hunt like they did with
Park Wide.
Like more on a wider scale.
So like the compound, but not as shitty as the compound.
Yeah, like it's an app on your phone that you get a password to get into and you have to like solve puzzles, or make it like you're waiting in line and there's the Legendary Truth thing where you can like answer trivia questions like they kind of had with 25.
Yeah. That'd be good.
So cool. Shelby, throw these ideas at places. I need them. Please.
Ryan.
The only thing that I can say as far as the upcharge experience, as far as the time thing that you guys talked about, I know that crowd turnover could have been a factor. You know?
That's true.
And granted, I don't think as many people did the repository as they thought.
I don't think
I had a friend who worked in there, and sometimes they just send the actors through so that the ones that were on duty would have something to do.
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, with proper advertising, because repository came last that year, right? And I agree, no one really knew about it. You know, obviously us hardcore people did, but we're the hardcore fans, so like, we know everything. Just kidding, we know nothing.
Yeah.
But
no, we know everything.
We know some things.
That should be our byline. Mistresses of Mayhem, we know some things.
Changing our Twitter bio right now.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I was ordering a burrito. What are we changing our bio to?
Oh, I want to.
We know some things.
Oh, we know some things. Perfect.
But so my theory on if they do like an escape room experience, like all the way escape room, not just a 1 minute puzzle, it's gonna be they'll probably want to keep crowds down, so I bet it'll be more expensive.
Oh God, yes.
I will pay for an escape room.
I don't like to stress about like ticket prices and stuff, because to me that's the most boring part of being a fan. And I know some people spend like hours and hours on ticket stuff, but I feel like they're gonna like really jack it up this year, and I'm a little worried.
I'm terrified, but let's not talk about it because I'm terrified.
Right. I want to be terrified of other things, like zombies in the dark in Paris.
Yes.
So, but that is a note that if they want to keep, if they want to make more profit and have less crowding to worry about, they'll probably raise the price on the upcharge.
A word on an escape room thing. So there's this chain called Five Wits, and they're an escape room chain up in New York. They do 30-minute rooms, which I mean, there are other 30-minute rooms. I'm not super into the idea. Obviously, they're a lot cheaper. But
true.
The thing about Five Wits is that their rooms are 100% self-resetting. They're completely automated. You never open any physical locks that someone else has to relock. Shit. Everything is either a magnetic lock or but they're well reviewed. They're not like shitty automated rooms. They're amazing ones, and they're so automated that they literally click a button and the whole thing goes back together.
Wow,
that's so cool.
I know, they're amazing. I want to play one so badly.
That sounds cool.
What's it in New York?
Like, I honestly would rather pay to just watch it reset itself, because I want to see what that's like and then cry, because that's literally my job, being automated in front of my face. But anyways, I could envision Universal doing a half-hour escape room. I don't think they would ever do an hour-long escape room. Number one, too much to design. Number two, too much to maintain. And number three, that's just a long time to eat up a guest's evening.
But I think spending it on drinks and stuff. Yeah.
No, I have a great idea though for an escape room. They could do it in like the bar room from the Shining House. You're locked in there, you got to escape, and then the game master is also the bartender, so you can drink while you try to get out.
And oh my god! Get out, you stay there and drink for 30 minutes. Yes.
Yeah.
That would be the dream, Connie.
That is an excellent idea. Wow.
I mean, you say that. There are a lot of escape rooms that have actors in them, and not just those stupid fucking zombie on a chain rooms. I mean, there are rooms where the game master is an actor in the room. I think the best one I ever heard about, you're people and you're trapped in an apartment for a girl who's actually a superhero. And she is quote unquote flying. You're supposed to be like 5 stories up, but she's standing outside the window, like floating there. And she is the game master, like telling you how to get out of there.
Wow.
Yeah. I could totally envision like Universal could definitely come up with something that is that clever. Like if that type of creativity is in random escape rooms across America, you bet your ass that Universal could come up with something like that. Also, a lot of the creative and a lot of the scenic from Universal goes out and does freelance work at all the escape rooms around Orlando. So that shit's just a big old orgy, and I don't know why they're not partaking more.
That would be interesting.
Oh my god. I actually did an escape room with a person inside the room.
I actually haven't done one either. I want to be that. I wish that we would do like an upcharge night at Dare to Escape, and they would let me play Victoria in the asylum.
Ooh, girl, yes. Get it. Get that.
Badly. Or just like a random creepy nurse. I'd even be down to. Anyways, we're going way off topic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, anytime we can employ actors to act, do it. So, a couple other things before we get rolling. Academy of Villains performed at the Fast and Furious opening, so they'll probably be back. We have a good report with them. I would count on them.
Yes. I love that we love Academy of Villains, and I love that they love us, and I love that this relationship exists.
Yeah.
I'm such AOV trash. Like, there are so many people who are like, it's awful. It's like anti-HHN, and I'm like, dude, this is... To me, I've only gone to HHN for 4 years. Half of that time, Academy of Villains has been present.
Yeah.
And to me, it is as HHN as Jack. I've seen Academy of Villains be part of Horror Nights more times than Jack the Clown. They are important to me.
Truesies.
Which, frankly, is ideal.
I'm going to tell you about a moment I had at 27. So, there's a bunch of people standing around Farside, and it's a bunch of my friends. And if you don't know who Farside is, he's like the choreographer for...
He's the daddy.
He's the...
Yeah, he's a big...
Isn't he, though?
Pretty much. So, everybody's standing around him. I go to meet my friend. It's Johnny from Haunt Scene.
Yep.
Probably in our chat.
Casually.
Haunt Scene.
And Johnny, of course, speaks up and he's like, "Hey, Farside, have you met Shelby? She's the one who does all the art." And Farside like loses his mind. He's like, "Oh my god, you're so fucking cool!" And I'm like, "What just happened?"
Yes,
that's wild. Damn. I love that.
Well, and then Yellow had your picture as his Insta picture for like the entire run and beyond.
Yeah.
I think this is great.
It's still weird to me.
Shelby, you should move to the UK because your uterus is known.
What? Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So, our remaining speculations that seem like interesting or more plausible things that we could see at the event this year remain Halloween, the remake coming out.
Of course. Yeah. I guarantee you that's fucking happening. There's no way that it's not.
We do love some Michael Myers.
We do love some Trick or Treat!
Yes, we do. Speaking of Trick or Treat, I haven't heard a lot about that. But still in contention, not as hot on the rumor mill. I don't know if people think it's a given or if it's just not coming.
I think it's a given, almost.
Wait, which one?
Trick or Treat.
Oh,
Trick or Treat.
Yeah, speaking of.
If anything, if we don't see it this year, I think we'll see it next year. Like, I predict that we will see Trick or Treat as a house within the next 3 years. I say that pretty firmly.
Yeah.
I think that's about right.
I think they need to let us wait a little bit. We need to whet our appetite and then tease us, and then put it off. Because otherwise, if we get too used to it, we'll get bored of it.
I just got to think about Principal Wilkins a little bit longer.
Okay.
Oh, get that paddle.
What about The Purge? Do we think The Purge is
No.
I don't know, you guys.
I think we're finally getting a breather from it.
I hope to God we're not getting it.
I'm one of the only fans of The Purge. I love The Purge. And
I do too. I also love The Purge as a zone. I just feel really burnt out on it after last year.
Yeah. I haven't liked it any of the times it's come around, so good riddance.
Honestly, this is a hot take because it does work really well in New York. Put it somewhere else, maybe?
It could work else, maybe. New York. It could work in Central Park, though.
It could work basically everywhere.
Put it inside a Krusty Burger.
Just honestly, no. Putting The Purge where the clown's saws usually are.
Oh my
think
God.
About it.
That's a terrible idea. I don't want that.
I don't want it either, but it's terrible. I like it.
Because you know
it's really
what
bad.
needs to go in that spot? You know what needs to go in Springfield? Chainsaw drag queens.
You know what?
I'm gonna go back to The Purge before we talk about drag queens, though.
Okay.
The thing with The Purge is it's limitless. Like, you could do anything, like, creativity-wise. Like,
but they can't.
They can, and it's a problem because, like, the creative team could go fucking wild and just create a Purge zone. But they have to stick to what the movies do, and that's
exactly. And really, I think, like, okay, so I had a friend who one night he was swinging in The Purge, and they basically, like, for his outfit were just like, just pick whatever and then pick whatever mask, and he picked because I think he was just, I don't even remember what he was going to be, but what he ended up doing was picking like a normal outfit and then like one of the pink glittery masks that they had, and they were like, okay, well, that's not close enough to anything in the movie, like there was nothing like this, we can't do that. And he was like, oh, so you just wanted me to pick something that was exactly like something from the movie? And they're like, yeah, basically.
Dang.
So it's like they have very little freedom there, and I don't know.
And then it all has to do with rights.
Yeah, it is definitely a big rights thing, like likenesses and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I sincerely hope that New York gets something that is not like what we've had for the past 2 years in it. I liked. My favorite New York zone that I've been through was Psychoscarapy. I loved that. I liked putting something humorous in New York, and not that was humorous and chaotic, and not just like violence and chaos. Because Survivor Die was violence and chaos. Purge was violence and chaos.
The Purge
was violence and chaos.
3 years ago was violence and chaos.
Exactly. I really enjoyed the Psychoscarapy break where there was a little bit more character to the area. Even though I knew like a fuck trillion people in the Purge this year, I found it being the scare zone I physically gravitated towards the least.
Same.
Even though I like it, I have nothing against it. I like enjoy the zone. I enjoy the concept. I think it's good for horror nights. It's just it does feel a little tired.
Yeah, it just felt tedious to go over there. Honestly, I was like,
we had Purge cubed last year, so no more for this year.
I think it depends on the amount of benches. The more benches there are, the better the scare zone.
Not a bad concept. Benches, the scare zone coming soon.
Sounds great. That sounds better than Altars of Horror.
There were a lot of benches in Altars of Horror.
They had 2 benches. No, 4 benches.
4 benches, yeah.
And Altars, there was a lot of benches there. Those benches were like very important to me because after I would get off of work, I would be in such physical agony that the mental idea of going to the parking garage would make me cry. So I would come out and I would pull out my fat ass on those benches and just listen to the music until I could move again. So yeah, I don't know. That has been, as far as compared to everywhere else, everywhere else that's been
everyone.
That was another thing with like Survivor Die. Like I really my screen's dead. It's fine. With Survivor Die, like I really wanted to stay in that zone and watch everything that was going on because it was super cool.
Yeah.
But there were not enough benches. I couldn't just sit down and watch.
Yeah, that's true. And there's nowhere good to stand. You're always like in someone's walking way or try to axe you.
So I would
just do what I do. Sit on a curb.
Yeah, same.
You've never seen anything more self-destructive than me sitting with my knees up to my face, trying to see my notebook, writing an invasion with like no lighting.
Darcy.
Person.
I've never said I'm good at self-preservation.
Listen, though. I sat on a curb in New York this past year, and I got mustard on my butt. So never again.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Mustard butt the
The winner
house.
for sitting stories from HHN 27.
Sitting stories. My ass sitting at home when I couldn't go.
Aw.
I know. Soon, you guys. Soon.
I kept trying to think of a sitting story that I had. I don't
Just said one.
We should just change our podcast to sitting stories.
I mean, I was the first one to complain that I needed to sit inside, and so I would just sit and listen to the backside of American Horror Story just run, like the house.
The backside of American Horror Story sounds like a bad fic.
It's like the backside of water.
I was about to say it sounds like a Jungle Cruise reference. But I was in the back of the house, and literally all you could hear were like chains rattling, guests screaming, and the theremin. That fucking theremin, because that room was right up against the back of the house. So I'd be sitting there trying to like hydrate, and I just have to listen to.
That's not relaxing.
I mean, it is if it's not surrounded by the cacophony of the rest of the haunted house.
That's true.
All right.
That's
I'll
true.
give you points for the word cacophony.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Miss.
You're welcome. Good child.
So the only thing I have left on my notes is our remaining code names. Like I said, and like Melody said, these are subject to change. So Fireball was Stranger Things.
Okay, so we're getting a whiskey house.
Yes.
Whiskey in the
3 shots of whiskey as you go.
Whiskey and waffles.
Oh no! Why?
I made this tweet and I feel like it didn't get enough appreciation, so I'm going to plague myself again. My scene that I'm most looking forward to in the Stranger Things house is just me eating waffles inside of it. Thanks. I'll be on Twitter all the time.
Coming to my TED Talk.
Thanks. That's my TED Talk. My Keanu Reeves TED Talk and my waffle TED Talk. The second code name that we have crossed off is Zero, which was Dead Exposure, and that one was pretty on the nose.
Damn it. We're not getting the Nightmare Before Christmas house that I expected.
Okay, so here's the ones that we have left that we don't know what they are. And feel free to throw out the worst ideas imaginable because I have no clue.
Very ready.
So one of the ones is Poison.
I immediately thought of Brain Dead. Yeah,
Batman and Robin.
Which you're right.
Dead Exposure was Poison.
It was Zero because it was in the name, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
Looking at you, Hive, with the code name Hive.
To be fair, wasn't always that way.
True, but still, they just named the house after the code name.
I
That
know.
was so funny as well.
it's just like High School Musical in that way.
It was like
It was the code name and I kept it.
They were going through on our first rehearsal explaining what each of the code names was, and then they get to Hive and they're like Hive. The Hive.
The Hive.
Like,
of
everyone
stuff.
was like shook because we were all so excited to hear what the actual name was gonna be.
Hive.
That's really funny.
The next code name is Feature.
Feature presentation. Obviously, the Usher's coming back.
Oh, God,
Hands
damn it.
down.
I feel like I didn't
God,
see
that's
it,
the
but
good
I feel like
timeline.
I just felt Darcy throw something across the room.
No, that was me hitting my laptop.
It's you know what? I'm gonna just interpret it the way that it sounded to me, which was that you picked up something like your own shoe and just threw it in excitement.
Bitch, empty. Yeet.
Yeet.
We just yoded across like 2 time zones. So feature makes me wanna believe that it's HR Blood and Guts, but I know it's not.
Oh, I wish.
We can dream.
television. We can of course stream. This is what this podcast is all about.
That's unfortunately a dream,
just for
and not
real.
for me.
Oh my gosh! No. Oh man. Feature could also be an all-night die-in kind of thing where they squeeze in more 80s movies.
You're right. It's the director instead.
Oh, you're right. Oh, crossover.
Crossover.
Everyone has been saying that since forever.
Yeah.
I'm not original. I'm just excited.
Before we get too excited about that one, because I feel like that one holds some interesting possibilities. The next codename is Coach.
Oh my God, designer bags.
The evils of capitalism, the house.
What if it's an 85 one though? Like,
what if it?
They were thinking like high school vamp 85.
Oh,
that could be interesting.
I was thinking like Ghost Town sequel, like Stagecoach.
Yeah, I also thought of that.
There you
Not
go.
Westworld. It's Westworld the house.
I literally started Westworld last night.
All the scare actors are
It's
just
so good.
animatronics.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Don't say anything that's going to give anything away in Westworld. I know there's something coming that I'm not expecting.
Well,
so
there
don't.
are animatronics in Westworld.
Well, I knew that. I
I haven't even watched Westworld. How the fuck would I spoil it for you?
Okay, thanks. I literally am on episode 2. I just want to make sure.
And I haven't started it yet, but I want to.
It gets.
I'm
so
really
good,
enjoying
fam.
it. I'm really enjoying it. The next code name is Dynamite.
Ooh, Wile E. Coyote house.
Oh, Wile E.
The
Coyote.
upcharge
That's definitely
experience.
not at
They
Six
just
Flags.
blow you up.
That's the upcharge.
Just another way to get killed at Horror Nights.
Yes.
Perfect.
Our upcharge experience always just ends up being some elaborate way that Horror Nights murders you.
Yeah. You
We're just
didn't
really
know.
ready.
We're all suicidal.
Oh my gosh. It's a joke.
It's a joke.
It is a
It's
joke.
a joke.
This is recorded, guys. People can listen to this.
People are gonna find this when we're all like old and be like, they had a hard time.
Our grandchildren are gonna listen to this.
No, they're not. I won't let them.
Hard time.
I am living a hard time, you guys. I have no clue what Dynamite could be. I can't think of any IPs or anything. So
Just the word. I mean, just the word dynamite over and over again, like that. Dynamite.
Dinorama
Oh my God,
confirmed
it's
for
gonna
the
be a
location
dinosaur.
of the 10th house.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be a dinosaur house. They're trying to.
The
throw us
walk
off the
there will be
trail.
at least shorter than the walk to Ash
Dino
vs. Evil Dead.
DNA.
Yo, true. Yo, can we take a moment of silence for Ash versus Evil Dead, please?
Pour one out.
Pour one out.
Pour one out, man.
Poor
I'm so upset.
Me too.
It was a good show, you guys.
Yeah.
Great show.
I used it to get my annoying roommate's friend. My roommate's annoying friend. That's the sentence I need that to go in out of the room because she couldn't deal with all the blood squirt. So I would play it to make her go away.
Pablo.
But the next code name is my personal favorite code name, and it's Snacks.
Snacks. Obviously,
confirmed.
just like a.
We are the
Walgreens.
snacks.
We're the Snacks.
Yum yum.
Okay, so it's either gonna be Scooby Doo House, Scooby Snacks,
Yes.
or it's gonna be an entire house of pictures of me.
It's just my unhealthy eating habits tormenting
Yes.
me.
Just snack without a K. Just snack.
Snack with 2 C's.
2 C's, yeah.
Snack.
Snick snack.
Snick snack patty whack. Give Melody a bone.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Don't. Okay, the next one is the worst code name for a house, and it's surprise.
It's just a birthday party. It's just our birthday party.
Surprise, bitch.
Oh, Coven confirmed.
Blown house confirmed. Could you imagine if that's actually what happened?
I would lose my mind because Coven was the section of AHS I was the most sad to miss. Friend scaring not included.
I was about to
Even
say,
just
yeah,
before.
I bet you did miss out on that.
I've really even before you were in there, I was like, Coven's gonna be the one I want. You know, that's my
great.
jam.
I
So.
miss all the dolls.
Oh, all the dolls.
I miss Spalding. He was so cute.
Poor child.
Shout
So-
out that guy, that actor. He was a stilt walker in the Horror Nights parade every year that it happened.
Cute.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The parade keeps coming back tonight.
I didn't really know that many people who performed in that parade were doing anything with HHN, but
There you go.
he is, and also in his day-to-day job, he builds magic tricks. That's literally his job.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh my
And
god.
He also does
Wow.
psychic readings at Islands of Adventure. He's literally the most interesting person I've ever
Icon
met.
legend star.
I know, right?
I'm obsessed. Wow. That's awesome.
He's a cool
Our
guy.
next code name, there's 2 left. Actually, there's just 1 left I can't write. I'm It's gotten dark since we started this, and I haven't gotten up to turn a light on yet, so.
Randy.
I like being in the dark. It makes me feel cooler. The last code name is Ragtag.
I don't know what that means. I have nothing.
It'd be a ragtag team of young adventurers.
Oh, dude, it's the Goonies.
80s.
Perfect.
I was about to say Sean Astin will be in 2 houses this year, but they're not doing season 2, so.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, Too Many Ancients was basically Goonies the house.
Oh, come on.
Aww.
That house,
Kidding.
though.
It was Indiana Jones the house. We all know that.
You're right.
But I would love Goonies the house, where you're going through creepy. I mean, that movie is full of like horrifying skeletons and like human corpses.
Hey, it's not a bad idea.
And then it
No.
ends with a deformed man on a pirate ship.
Yeah.
You know,
and
honestly,
That sounds like a winning finale to me.
we've
and
talked
people being rich.
Yeah. We've talked about this a couple times on the show, but we love like having like varying degrees of like terrifyingness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so like the Goonies could be like your starter house of the night when you're like not
Goonies
feeling,
can be the Ash versus Evil Dead of this year.
Honestly,
Right.
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and then you work your way up to like your Scarecrow, or I think Dead Exposure could be really freaking scary
Mhm.
this year.
I actually would. People have joked about this before. I would not have a problem with a Beetlejuice house.
At all. 10,000% would be here for it.
Right.
I genuinely think that you could make a still scary. I mean, there's stuff you could use for a jump scare in that, but I could see it on Ash versus Evil Dead level of intensity for sure.
Give me a giant
Yeah.
sandworm puppet and I'm down.
Well, like, you know,
Exactly.
like when she's in the closet and she's like hanged herself to scare like the people that are in there, that's a
Yeah.
good jump scare,
Yeah,
like
or even
that,
just
or
the people under the sheets. Honestly, that would be a terrible role, but also
Dinner party scene.
Winona
Honestly,
Ryder
yeah.
floating in the air and you're not ready for it and you get misdirected, or like, or you know, like the waiting room in Purgatory could have fun things, like, you know.
That would be a
Finally
fun intro
give
to the
all
house,
of
actually.
The unemployed Beetlejuice actors a job again.
Aww.
Oh.
Slowly Beetlejuices. I just imagine them in full costume and makeup sitting outside Universal, like, huh.
Oh, that's really sad.
It is really sad.
Oh my god, that's where Christopher Walken is too now.
Oh no.
Replaced by Vin Diesel. Beetlejuice is also replaced by Vin Diesel.
Oh, I have a very, very quick Fast and Furious story.
Oh boy.
So when it
Let's stay
when it
relevant.
first
Let's
came
do it.
out, y'all know I don't have a pass, so I haven't seen it or anything. But I've been like
You're not
seeing
missing out.
y'all and like everything that's going on. And I was at a friend's house. His name's Steven, and I was hanging out with him and his girlfriend and like Janice, who's living with me right now. And I read someone's tweet. I don't know, one of you guys, like Shelby or Darcy or someone. I have no memory of anything. And I said, like, oh, it looks like Fast and Furious is being new Baton Rouge. And Steven went off. He was like, oh, really? Because I heard it was horrible. Why would you even... But, like, he didn't know I was talking about the ride. He just started going off about the series. He went off for, like, 30 minutes, and I was like, I mean the new Universal ride. And he was like, oh.
Oh.
It was good.
He was still kind of right.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all the code names. People are throwing in the possibility of the upcharge again. Nothing for that, though.
Yeah.
Do you think... Okay, so is it time that we talk about a possible Bill and Ted replacement again?
Oh, we haven't talked about that this episode.
I don't
'Cause I
really have anything new to say, honestly. I still haven't really, like, I just know AOV's coming back, and I'm cool with that, so.
I mean, I've thought about it, and I think a really great way to like keep the good HHN vibes, but still have like a space where you can have a lot of people in a single area would be a Mistresses of Mayhem live podcast episode every night.
Oh my god, every night. Oh my god, can you imagine what we would
that'd
even
be
talk about
awesome.
every night?
I mean,
we just
have,
know.
like a different guest on, and then the entire audience, they'd all show up thinking it was going to be something good, and then by
And
the
it's
end, there'd
us.
be, like, 4
It's
people
us.
scattered throughout the stadium because everyone just leaves.
And our special
Yes.
guest is Gerardo or something.
Yes,
It's like
exactly.
normal,
Or,
like not even
Selena.
like. No, we would get actors in character.
Oh my
I
God,
mean,
yes, that'd be
It would just be
Yeah.
Reagan like
Our
throwing up
special
on
guest
us.
tonight, the head
Yes.
in a box from Dead Waters.
Yes.
Yes.
We get Mark Twain zombie on and have
Oh.
a good old discussion about literature
I can
Yes.
see
Yes.
and America.
that is
And
a
I'm like,
funny guy. He would live for that.
I would live for that.
Let's get it.
So honestly, we just turned your terrible idea into the best idea. So
Yeah.
terrible idea, and that no one would like it. We would like it.
We want it.
Call us when you're ready for some real quality content, art, and design.
Yeah. Just kidding. You do you. We all know, like, I'm really curious what they do to replace it, though. Just because I don't know.
I mean, I
I'm
literally just
honestly
told
really
you.
curious too, because I know something will for capacity's sake.
Yeah.
But who knows what it's going to be? I'm hoping. I don't know. I would honestly love to see them like change pace and not do a comedy pop culture roast. I'd like to see something else. I saw an act on America's Got Talent recently that I was like, oh my God, this should replace Bill and Ted. And it was like a combination interpretive dance and magicians, and they were very creepy and weird, and they were doing like a nightmare scene where the guy fell asleep and kept appearing in different places on the stage and in different situations. It was really cool. And I was like, why don't we do something like this at Horror Nights? Something that is like Academy of Villains, a little bit more of like an expanded version of a niche performance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
that's cool.
The opposite side on this. I think we need that level of comedy, though.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I would love to see like a happy medium where it's like something that is still like not scary. You can take a break and kind of let the tension relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you do get pretty,
And you can still do
That's true.
Bill and Ted without Bill and Ted. Because you've
That's
seen
true.
them hanging and
Like a
not.
knot.
I will continue to fight for the What We Do in the Shadows idea. It's getting rebooted as a TV show. I don't think it has a big enough following at all, but I still think it would
What
be
We Do in the Shadows is the comedy house. Duh.
Yeah. You're right.
I would volunteer just to play Deacon in the fucking exotic dance scene.
I want to be ugly
You
Vladislav.
want to be Peter? Oh,
Leave me
ugly
no,
Vladislav
leave me to do
on
my
a
dark
table.
bidding on the internet.
What are you bidding on?
A table. Yeah, that's my pick, because I think it would be kind of fun, because you do have these kind of like fish out of water vampire characters. So it would be fun to have them interact with all the pop culture stuff.
Yes.
That would be funny. I would
Okay,
enjoy
off
that.
topic, but Dr. Jimmy says hello.
Hello, Dr.
Hi.
G! Oh, I truly believe there are only two true eccentrics left in the world, and one of them is David Lynch, and one of them is Dr. Jimmy.
Yes.
You are right.
Agreed.
Yes. Okay. Well, that about wraps it up for
we
me.
are approvers of him here. See, we
Absolutely.
got these hard opinions on other human beings and their personalities and their value based on their opinions of HHN. So, Dr. Jimmy, you done good. You have good opinions.
5-star Yelp review for Dr. Jimmy.
That's right.
Where's the TripAdvisor?
You guys, I didn't know that you could read like TripAdvisors and like Yelps for theme parks. They're wild.
Oh, girl, they're so funny.
God.
The
We used to do
Volcano
that
Bay
on our
ones are
breaks
the
at
best.
Disney
I'm
Plus.
still not over the one where the lady was upset that the bridge tilted on Kilimanjaro Safaris.
God,
They
and
could have
nobody-
died.
They could have died, and nobody
Nobody did
apologized
anything.
Or
Isn't that not working anymore, though? Because
No.
of that?
this review is from a while back, but I'm still not over it.
It's probably just not working because it's not working.
It's an off and on thing. So it used to be a very consistent thing, and it was scaring people. It is in part up to how crowded the park is for that day, because it also slows down operations.
Yeah.
I will admit, the first time I wrote that right, it did scare the shit out of me.
Oh, I
it got
loved
me
it,
pretty
'cause
good.
my dad was like, "This is the best part."
Oh, okay. No one told me, so I was unprepared. But it was fun. But it scared the shit out of me in like the way I like to be scared. So it's fine. But yeah, it's kind of unexpected on like the slow moving bus ride. Anyway, let's talk about Animal Kingdom.
Okay. Go in.
Why does
Animal
the Up
Kingdom.
Bird show not have the bird from Up in it?
Agreed.
That was so spicy. Oh man.
Have him in Disneyland in a parade.
Exactly.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we get on to plugs?
My thighs are sore because I went bowling last night.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I think that's our sign that it's over.
Yeah, I think that's it. We'll go around and plug a couple things. I will say, find me on the tweeters. I think I put links in the episode descriptions most of the time.
As always, all our Twitter links are in the bio of the actual Mistresses Twitter.
Yes.
That's true.
Is that true?
With our brand new bio from this episode.
Yes.
So cool. Please follow our podcast Twitter. Darcy tweets the funniest things we say as text, so you can have a memento forever.
That's why I'm quiet all the time, is because I'm aggressively typing on my phone.
We are just gold mines of comedy and funny
honestly,
things.
Darcy, I very much value that you do that, because as soon as it's over, I go back and I read all of them and I'm like, wow, we're hilarious.
I do the same thing. McConnacast is on a break because my roommate and I do not currently live in the same room anymore. So that'll be back around August or so. And I don't know, I'm playing some cool video games and watching some cool movies. Go play Bastion, it's really fun. Yeah, that's about it for me. I don't have a lot, so.
I guess I could go now. Follow me on everything at Mel's Die-In. I have finally unified my
branding.
Girl.
Yeah. I'm very proud of myself. It took a long time. The only thing that's not that is my Snapchat, but y'all don't need my Snapchat, so you can't have that. But yeah, Mel's Die-In on everything. That's Mel's with 2 L's. I like followers. Also, any drag fans out there, please follow my drag Instagram, Alexandria DeThick, all one word. And also come visit at Dare to Escape Kissimmee. We have escape rooms.
Yeah, they're really great. I've done all.
The fourth one is actually being built now, and the fourth one is low-key a 100% without question pure ripoff of the repository. So come do it.
Excellent.
Gold.
They all feel like they're ripoffs of things from Universal. It's great.
A lot of them do. Yeah.
I mean the only one I've done is the dig, and I spent most of the dig making Poseidon's Fury jokes. So like,
I was living. It was so funny.
Yeah, Melody Googled the entire speech from Poseidon's Fury just so she could type it as a clue.
I did.
Oh my god.
I was literally sitting in the control room with John, like watching videos of Poseidon's Fury at slow speed so I could type out what I'm hearing word for word.
Oh my god.
And he was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, you wouldn't understand." And he said, "I would not understand."
All right, I guess I'll go next for
yes.
Do it.
I don't really have much to plug, except that I will be at MegaCon this month at the very end. I will have a table selling stuff and things.
Yeah, I'll be at MegaCon too, but not selling things, just running around screaming "Life smells weird" at the top of my lungs.
Bizarre.
In cosplay.
Cosplay hints.
I will be in cosplay one day, so I won't be at my table for one day. I haven't decided when, but I will be dressed up as Jack from BioShock.
Yeah!
Other than that, I was on a podcast called The Grim Grinning Hosts not too long ago. They're pretty cool. They talk about Haunted Mansion mostly.
Yeah, I saw that.
About them.
They're pretty cool. Hunter's awesome. But that's about it. Follow me at Shelby Denimart on everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Branding.
All right. So you can follow me on everything at Torch the Bats. In case you want to hear more of my ramblings on how obsessed I am with the SpongeBob musical right now. I am very obsessed.
You are,
and I will not stop.
For sure.
Me and Darcy is going to be so wild because I am firmly a fan of the band's Visit, and you are like the SpongeBob.
Oh, girl, we're just going to be butting heads the entire Tony Awards. It's going to be great.
We're going to be so mean. No offense to band's Visit's winning. So, you know. Musical theater competition.
The only one I am dead set SpongeBob needs to win is sound design, though. If Dobbs doesn't win, I will fucking throw something.
Wow, okay.
He does Foley for the entire show on stage, every single show.
It's so good. I agree.
Award, I will riot.
Victor did not know that a SpongeBob the musical existed, and so we watched like a little behind the scenes featurette, and his mind was fucking blown by that. It was great.
My expectations were absolutely exceeded by it. Like, I was expecting nothing and got pretty cool.
Everything.
You know, like, yeah.
I didn't watch SpongeBob as a kid. I didn't care for it at all. I watched the musical, and I was like, well then. It seems like I'm going to think about anything else for the next 6 months.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last,
Follow me on Twitter at Connie Wayne. It's just my name. Someday I'll be glad. Today it just sounds boring. Please sneak into my house and read my unpublished novel. I really need to know how you like it. I really want feedback there. But I only have it in a Word document on my laptop. So just do that for me. Thank you.
Do you have a password on your laptop?
Yes.
What is it?
It is vampires and then like the capital R.
With
and
a
then,
Z?
No, just R and then DA, duh, and then capital B in best.
Is it actually that? Because that is so funny.
No!
The NSA is listening to us all the time.
Who listening to this podcast is ever going to try to get into my laptop? My laptop password was my first gay anime ship. And I'm really not kidding.
That's a big mood.
I know.
Okay. Anything else before I hit the button, you guys?
No, I gotta go because my screen's crashed like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
Oh no! Bye.
Bye.
Shelby. Thank you for joining us.
I guess also goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Goodbye, audience.
Yeah. Goodbye, audience. Stay weird. Stay spooky. Subscribe and stuff. Yeah, that's how you do that.
Subscribe to this podcast. Watch this one. This one we're doing. Be part of it.
The best one.
This one's a good one. Until next time, you guys. Bye.
Bye.